All right, this is coming in on us. Greetings. Really wasn't expecting to get this done today, but I thought, why not? Because I was thinking about it, and I'm weird that way. I keep because I'm not trying to suck up here, but I love teaching this course, and we're doing a pretty different, as I've told you 100 times now, than we have before. Now this in this lesson, we're going to look at the 3 point shot. I was going to look at the free throw. I do look at some free throws, and there are some videos that are just for fun, and then there are some videos that you are actually part of the lesson. Okay, that you'll have to answer questions for when you get to the mini quiz. Okay, and I just wanted to explain that. But we're going to be looking at the jump shot, and what happens to me when I get involved in this kind of stuff is I just start finding all kinds of neat stuff that I want to throw out there and use, and I'll probably use a lot of this stuff in my physics 210 class and teaching projectile motion. And so I got to the end, and I was coming up with the uh, uh, I was coming up with the uh, I hate getting I don't know how to shut off the notices from my computer that come into my phone because I'm all hooked with. Anyway, so I got to the last like four questions, and it's basically here's what it is. I said, okay, Steph Curry's going to shoot a 24-foot 3 point shot. It's actually 23 feet 9 inches from the thing. Well, we made it 24 feet, and I figured his release would be at about 8.5 feet divided by and so that would be the starting point and the end point at a 51-degree angle. And I thought, well, shoot, we've done this. We can, I'll kind of walk you through how to do. And I realized, oh my, this is actually a little bit hairier than I thought. So you're going to see two equations in this homework towards the end there that is just, you're just going to go, well, that's crazy. But I'm going to show you how to walk through it. All right. The first, okay, so I'm gonna cut my picture out here in the corner. And before we open this thing, I just wanted to show you. Now this isn't finished yet because I still have to add like this video and stuff like that. But here are the sports videos that I've added, and it's Shaq and free throws on TNT with his buddies, but announcing the game. Shaquille O'Neal is horrible at free throws, and the funny thing is, Dirk Nowitzki hit 24 free throws in a row, and they're about the same size. I mean, Shaq, of course, is much more muscular than Dirk Nowitzki was, but they're about the same height and everything. But Dirk Nowitzki shot his free throws differently. He had a much higher arc. Shaq's problem was he had no spin and he had no arc. And so you can watch Shaq, just throw a complete grenade. Most of these videos are 3 to 4 minutes long. And then you see Rick Barry, who's one of the greatest free throw shooters of all time. Uh, um, he shot it granny style, which is the most effective way to do it. All right, the ones in red, these are the ones that you're going to get. These are the ones that, and they're kind of out of order because we started Derek Williams, we go to Steph Curry, then we end with the granny shot for where the questions come from. So it's just a matter of going and watching these little 3 minute videos. And the granny shot here, this is a Discover magazine article that's 2 pages long, and it's very straightforward. I disagree with some of their, and in fact, some of the other science of shooting videos, I just, disagree with that. They said you should aim for the back of the rim. That's kind of a recipe for disaster. You should aim for the front of the rim because your mistakes come, anyway, you should aim for the middle. And that's one of the problems that the really tall guys have. Anybody that's over 6'7" is that all of a sudden that elevated angle of the shot, you figure out that you cannot make a free throw if you shoot it too flat. If you shoot it at 30 degrees, there's no way. Launch the ball at 30 degrees, there's hardly any way it's going to go in. But the only thing you can hope for is that you shoot it so flat and so bad that it hits the backboard and swishes in somehow. Okay? Um, and actually, for I know I've got some basketball players out there. For some of you that are, this shows you. I did have one on there. I did have one slide on there, movie on there from the old Sports Science where this one NBA star, quote unquote, um, was shooting free throws. And he was a really good free throw shooter. And then they brought out some eye candy to distract. They brought out all these stupid things, and I was just like, you know, let's get beyond that, you know. And I, you know, so anyway, I kind of cut that, but it did have an interesting. It had a very interesting facet to it, in that it talked about muscle memory, okay, and that if you do something, you know, 100 times that in a row, that will increase your muscle memory quite a bit. So if you're doing something correctly 100 times, boom, go for it. And that's one of the reasons for any of you that I know I've got a few conservatory students out there too. That's why you practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. You know, like I play classical guitar, and every once in a while I get stuck. A lot of times, most times I get stuck um, on certain pieces, and I found that if I just play those two measures that are kicking my butt, you know, 100. I just go, okay, I'm going to play it 100 times in a row. You know, hopefully nobody's home while you're doing that. Otherwise, you'll drive them right out of their gourd. But you're getting your muscle memory, and you got to play it correctly. That's why they say uh, practice slow, and you'll get there fastest. Because if you practice it incorrectly 100 times, guess what? You got muscle memory for that, and it's going to take you 1,000 times to undo that and relearn it. Right? So that's why if you got bad habits on doing certain things, you don't do so well. And that's the other thing that's funny about like golf. You know, all these people want to play. I don't know why I turned off, because I'm waxing eloquently again. Um, that's why people, you know, all the mostly men, um, you know, they want to play golf when they retire. They just like to play golf on the weekends. I don't play golf because I like hanging out with my family instead. I'd much rather spend time at the park than with my grandkids than on the links. But I can go for an hour run in the morning before everybody's up and then be ready to go. But they spend a fortune. You know, they think if they just get that magic club. No, no. It's, are you going to spend 6 hours a day every day practicing different shots and getting your muscle memory down? Unless you're going to do that, you know, you're just not going to get that much better. But the golf companies, the people who make golf clubs, Ping and all those others, they'll be more than happy to sell you the next killer club that's going to improve your game. When the only thing that's going to improve your game is to practice, and to practice correctly. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, and then we'll go look at we'll actually look at the assignment. But the three things that you need to either read, which is this middle one, or watch, which is these two, is where you get 70% of the answers for the little mini quiz that goes with this mini lesson 11. Okay, out here on that.